Hello everybody and welcome back to All New Fight Communists in America. I'm your host, Brian McDonald, and today we will be talking about mail-in voting and a stupid channel I found an ad on that they're sending liberal propaganda out to people through YouTube. And I figured this needed to be addressed, so let's dive into this video. And I will be showing you the liberal propaganda in this channel, on this channel too, so stay tuned, because YouTube's getting crazy on allowing freaking ads that, like, are so liberal that they allow fraudulent votes. That's what's going on right now, is fraudulent votes. They're trying to get fraudulent votes with mail-in ballots. But without further ado, let's get in the video. So here we are, guys, with this video, and I'm just like, they're showing liberal propaganda through YouTube ads, but when it's conservative proper stuff, they in it, like, especially when this is fraudulent, about fraudulent mail, so the Democrats can win. But without further ado, let's get into this stupid liberal video, and I will also be showing you guys the channel, so check out.
So, a big question right now: how do we vote safely during a pandemic? The issue, just to state the obvious, is that election day can look like this, or this, or this. And during a public health crisis, people may want to avoid that kind of scene. So the obvious solution here is...
So you guys heard that. Public crisis. They're using that to get into the minds of people that mail-in voting's great. They're freaking manipulating people. Just in this video alone, in the first freaking 20 seconds, they did that. Like, literally, it's crazy. They even started it when the video started out. Like, it's literally insane.
Vote by mail. It's safe, and it's easy, but how does it work? And how do we make it happen?
It's not safe, it's not easy, because people can send fraudulent information out. That's why they have to have a federal signature. So when they go to the voting place where you go to vote, they always have someone who counts the votes and double checks you're not doing it over and over again. So that they're even trying this.
Time. That's what we're covering here. But first, some voting history. Once our Constitution was ratified in 1788, the newly formed country had to figure out how the voting process would work. Back then, it was rarely on paper. A person's vote was often cast in public, not in secret. The officials would count actual heads in a room, Federalists to one side, Republicans to another. And in places where voting happened by ballot, you voted by tossing a ball, a pea, bullet into a box. The process has evolved a lot over time. We adapted, much as we're adapting now. So back to the present day. The first step to ensuring a safe and fair election during the pandemic is expanding access to vote by mail and access to early voting periods. The good news is that 5 states already conduct their elections almost exclusively by mail, and their turnout is almost 10% higher than the rest of the country. And then another 9 states permit every eligible voter to request an absentee ballot and vote by mail. But other states have eligibility rules to vote by mail, and there can be a looming threat of criminal prosecution if you get it wrong.
If we were able to get things changed so that we could vote, I could vote absentee, that would...
See, literally, they got a brainwashed youth person. So, this girl is in college, it looks like. And literally, like, that's where you come out as a freaking liberal. Brainwash, high school or college. or both. It's just stupid. And they just got this liberal girl on there to act like she's a regular person. She's not a normal person. She's a brainwashed liberal person that needs to wake up and see what's going on around her.
In the world, I'm kind of filled with emotion now just thinking about that because I really want to vote.
Most of our litigation right now is about expanding that eligibility to vote by mail to include COVID-19 as an excuse, and also getting rid of other obstacles to voting by mail.
A lot of states require things like witness signatures or notaries to certify your ballot, and under normal circumstances, that's an unnecessary hoop to jump through. During the pandemic, it's downright impossible for a lot of people to comply with while they're also trying to observe social distancing protocols to keep them and their communities safe.
As we work towards universal access to vote by mail, we also need the federal government to mandate a 14-day early vote period. And we need the federal government to ramp up the funding they're giving states, so states can enact these changes and print and process ballots. We estimate the states need about $4 billion to make this.
You guys saw that back there, 14 days. There's a lot of stuff you can do with mail-in ballots in 14 days. You could send a whole bunch out in the mail, and they would freaking go all the way to Washington, D.C., be counted, and they could be all fraudulent. Or majority of them. Or they could be switched out with a freaking liberal one through mail. Like, literally, through the mailing process, they could be switched out. And literally put nothing but freaking people, I don't know. But also, there's also the fact that people are in California aren't able to vote Republican. And I'll get to that in a sec.
Happen in time. And assuming that everyone is allowed to vote by mail, we'll still need a functioning postal service to actually collect all those votes.
You can't have vote by mail unless you have a functioning postal service. And there are some dire predictions right now about the postal service potentially becoming insolvent in late summer or early fall. So just like surging funding to the states for election administration is a critical step that the federal government needs to take right now, so too is shoring up the postal service. Literally, our democracy could depend upon it.
In a country as big as this, a one-size-fits-all approach won't work. States also need to make sure people who can't vote by mail still have access.
There are a lot of people who are still going to need to go to vote in person. People with certain kinds of disabilities, for example, can't use an absentee paper ballot. There are voters who are limited English proficient who don't receive ballots in the mail in their native languages. And then there are people for whom the state doesn't have up-to-date address information, people who moved recently. A lot of people are going to still need the option of voting in person, but we want to make crowds as thin as possible on election day.
So, to recap, being able to vote in a safe...
Yeah, the reason they want to make crowds as thin as possible is to get majority of America on board, so there can be fraudulent stuff. Like, that's the way the Democrats work. They always are fraudulent. Oh yeah, I'll get into some other stuff in a sec. Got some news about the Mueller report, so that's good. I'll probably do another video about that later.
Accessible and secure way is possible with this checklist. States expand vote by mail to every eligible voter. States get rid of extra hurdles to completing your ballot like witness signatures and notaries. States make sure people who need in-person voting can access it. And the federal government funds and mandates the expansion of vote by mail.
So, you guys see down here, right here, on the second one, it literally says states get rid of extra hurdles by completing your ballot. Well, what they were saying, actually, they said that, people don't need to be double checking it. It needs to happen, or we could get a whole bunch of fraudulent stuff out. And it's literally stupid. Like, it's so crazy that they want to even do this. And you can see all the flaws in this plan so far. And this is their plan.
Mail and early voting. We need this to protect our right to vote and to protect our democracy.
Yeah. There we go again. Alright, without further ado, guys, let's get into the channel. See? Oh, tear gas at protests should not be used. Literally, these are freaking anarchists. Police attack on protesters are illegal. These are freaking anarchists. Hold on. Alright guys, there we go again. Sorry I had to cut it out because of the phone call. So see, police attacks on protesters are illegal. Literally, they're not attacks. They're trying to keep us safe, and these radical leftists are freaking doing riots, which is totally illegal. Anarchy is illegal. Oh yeah, and you want to hear the dumbest thing that they can disguise themselves as Antifa with? How do you protect your privacy at a parade or whatever? Let's see what this is. At a protest.
Black Lives Matter protest on June 1st, 2020. We're here in honor of George Floyd and against the police brutality that caused his senseless death. When it makes sense, bring a camera with you, to bring a phone with you, to make sure you can record it, you can get the message out. The message is super important. But those same phones, those same cameras can cause problems if the data gets into the hands of people who you're against. And that includes the police, like these guys over here.
Literally, they're idiots.
Make sure that your device has a strong password. The strong password means not just 4 digits. It means the entire thing. 6 digits, a full textual password if you need to do that. The stronger the password, the harder it is for somebody to guess and get into your phone. Make sure that your phone is in airplane mode when you don't need to communicate. That reduces the amount of signals that come off the phone. The radio signals used to keep track of your device and QR. The police use those radio signals to keep track of protesters, and they could use them against you in the future, so you want to make sure you don't do that. Sometimes you need to communicate.
So, literally, as you could see there, a lot of liberal talking points. They want you to encrypt it if you're Antifa. If everybody encrypts it, that means people who are Antifa can't be tracked. They could be automatically someone who's a good protester, and they're brainwashed, so they see this good idea on a liberal YouTube channel and actually do this.
On, but when you don't need it off. You have a right to record the police. Make sure you record the police if they're doing something wrong. You absolutely have that right, and it's important. It's one of the checks that we have against police brutality and against police abuse. The facial recognition systems can keep track of who you are, and we don't know how the police will use those pictures in the future. If you have a mask, your face is hidden, you're going to be in a better position from that. If the cops do take you, make sure your phone is...
Yeah, literally Antifa. Wear those masks. And they're doing this thing I mentioned earlier where they can hide themselves. Literally, idiots. When there's actually a law in Antifa, you're going to get people arrested who are innocent. Because you guys are innocent. Are idiots and want people to take the blow for stuff liberal stuff that you guys
off. If you can turn it off as they take you, that's good. If you can just make sure that it's locked, don't leave it so that it can be unlocked with your thumbprint. Don't leave it so it can be unlocked with your face. Those are things that the police can use to unlock your phone for you. And if they unlock your phone, it reveals lots of information that's in there about you and information that's about your friends and the people that you care about. You don't want to turn that.
Okay, cops do this, you idiot, so they can protect people. And they can get people arrested who are bad people, who break the law, you idiot. And most of these people that do this just try to get arrested. And then their friends freaking film it to make it look like some police just did something wrong. Like, literally. That's how they work with stuff.
Information over. So make sure that it needs to be unlocked with a password. If they do catch you, some of the cops may decide to offer you a drink, a soda, a water, a juice, or they might offer you a cigarette. Don't take it. Cops have been known to use those tricks as ways to gather your DNA. They can gather and they put your DNA into a database, and that's a whole separate set of processes.
Okay, your DNA is already in a database, idiot. From the moment of birth. And they can still get your DNA off your skin, idiot. Like, literally, this guy's an idiot thinking that. That's a stupid idea. That DNA is on your, like, skin. They could take it automatically. Or just, like you leave skin cells everywhere. Every time you sit down, there's skin cells everywhere. You just have to find those skin cells and pick them up and test them. Like, he's an idiot.
Biased against people of color, those databases are used to over-police the same communities that are downtrodden by the police every day. So,
yeah, these guys are idiots. But they're smart on lying and actually getting people to believe all this stupid shit about cops. Cops are not all bad. And freaking people, liberals, trying to make it seem that way. Don't trust them. Because there's good cops out there. They're saying that all cops are bad. Like, literally, it's stupid. They're canceling shows about good cops. Like, A&E just lost a whole bunch of stuff. Literally, about this. Like, they went bankrupt for canceling cops. Yeah, idiots. Also, it's just crazy, like, literally. Why would you do that? And then you got, PD Life PD, that got canceled. Not sure about that company. I'm not sure which company that was that did that, but I don't think they went bankrupt as far as I've heard, unless they're both A&E. So, yeah. Okay. Let's finish this.
Get out here, exercise your right to protest, stay as safe as you can, speak truth to power, tell people what matters. Black Lives Matter.
See, they're trying to get people to take the blame for what Antifa does. Okay. Yeah, sorry that everything had to go this way. I just got to go through this. Why is it so hard to hold the police accountable? Let's see what this warrant is. Yeah, I get kind of this a little bit. I do have to admit they're right on that video, because you shouldn't be spied on by the government, period. It's your freedom, and the government does that. Snowden revealed all that. And still, he's tracked down. He leaves Russia, he's doomed in the U.S. Leave Russia and come back. And that's stupid because the government wants to hold them accountable for something they did. And I believe this started during the Bush administration too. And it led into the Obama administration too. And Obama kept it going. I'm not sure if it's still going or not, but it's just crazy. Alright, let's see what else is on this stupid channel, like, literally. Freaking thing. Okay, I have to find this again. Gotta go through these. Okay, here we go.
So, a big...
Okay, that's the video we already watched. Okay, guys. Yeah, like, literally, this is all liberal. But we got through a few talking points today, like, literally. Oh, yeah, got a little news to tell you guys. I'm going back to actual screen before we leave. So, crazy, huh? Really crazy, the stuff that's going on. So yeah. What I was going to tell you guys about is that the Russian collusion hoax actually was done by the whistleblower was an American. Oh, liberal faces are going to frown at that. But I'll make a video about it later. I'll get more information. I just figured I'd let you guys know that. And without further ado, I'm going to end this video. Please like, share, subscribe. Hit that bell beside the subscribe button. Click all, and you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. Please also help me grow this channel to 100 subscribers and keep growing, Patriots. We need 100 Patriots for now. And we'll keep growing this channel so that we can fight the communists. This is Brandon McDonald signing out. I'll see you out there, Patriots. This is Brandon McDonald signing off.